lighting is crazy in here right now. Someone was interviewing me the other day and they were asking about whether or not I see a trend in software becoming simpler. First, let me tell you a story. I remember there was this time, I don't know, it was like maybe 8, 7. I remember my father was coming home really late at night, and I was kind of concerned, you know, like as any kid, why is dad not coming home for dinner right now? I asked my mom and she's just like, he's working overtime. My father was a commercial real estate agent, and he was working overtime trying to get some deals to close. And with those deals that he closed, he was able to make just enough money to buy us our first VCR and our first microwave. Huge amount of money. And so all of a sudden now we had this like device to go rent movies and eat popcorn together, and it was just awesome. I mean, if I don't know, there was just something special about those moments of, I remember like going to the video store, it was called Golden Video, with my father picking up a movie and then watching it. Sometimes we'd pick up 2 and then we'd have something for Friday night and something for Saturday night and watch these movies together and just eat microwave popcorn, and like everything was right with the world. It was such a phenomenal experience. There's one drawback though to that VCR. The clock was constantly blinking unless I fixed it. My parents couldn't figure out how to set that damn VCR clock, and wasn't unusual. Like I've looked at the research and the surveys out there. VCR owners, at least 30% of VCR owners couldn't figure out how to set just the clock. That one feature people couldn't even figure out, and so it made everything even worse. Over half of VCR owners couldn't program a VCR to record a show. Over half, that's insane. The majority of people owning a VCR couldn't take part in the main benefit of a VCR, which was recording a program on TV later. So it's no wonder that things, when the TiVo came out, it just smoked VCRs. I mean, here was you could, you know, set a TiVo up, hook it up to Wi-Fi, and all of a sudden you had a channel guide. You didn't need to set the clock, and to program it, all you had to do was click on something and pick it from a menu, and it was done, right? I mean, of course, like pausing live television was good, but I mean, I think TiVo took off simply because it was just so much simpler than using a VCR. Gone was even the complexity of setting a clock. And so I think about that. I think about VCR technology and just how terrible it was, even though it was this like innovative, useful thing that a lot of us, including myself, got use from, even though it was insanely complicated for most people. And I think about that's how still most things are in our world. I mean, VCRs and setting the clock is still a relatively easy thing, simple thing, compared to setting up like predictive forecasting and, you know, inviting people and you know, automating these reports and setting up these reports. I mean, these things are so much more complex than setting a clock on a VCR. And yet that's what most people face when they use things like software today. Insanely complicated experiences to even set up. So do I think there's a trend in simplicity? I think it's always this thing that's there. You know, like if you look at cars, the first Ford vehicle was a super simple car. People could fix a Ford on their own. You could buy parts at a hardware store to fix the first Ford cars. You can't fix your car yourself today, they're too complicated. But now you like go get a Tesla and the things are so much simpler, right? There's like no dashboard, it's all like an iPad-like display, and you know, a lot of things in the car can be improved just online. I mean, so it's less of a trend, and it's just something that exists, and it goes in waves, right? It's like at first it was really important to have simple cars that you could fix yourself because there wasn't a lot of mechanics. Well, then people just stopped worrying about it, and they were like, no, I want more power and more things out of my car. And then simplicity kind of went on the wayside, but then simplicity came back, and then it went away again. And now, I mean, I feel like, you know, we're in a new little wave of simplicity being more important in a Tesla, but it's one of those things that I don't think it's a trend. High-Rise has this funny thing, like a lot of people come into High-Rise because it's this simple CRM, but then they go to Salesforce because they're like, you know what, we've graduated from High-Rise. Like we love it, we love how simple it is, but we now need all the reports and all the crazy features that Salesforce has. And you know what, a lot of those people come back to us and they realize like, you know what, we made a mistake. We didn't need all those things. They looked interesting and like that we would get a lot of use out of them, but they're just like, you know what, it was too crazy, and it ended up slowing us down. So now we're back with high rise, and we missed the simplicity of it. I think that's like, so you just keep with it. People will be attracted to more complicated things, but they'll come back. So I don't think it's about a trend of simplicity. It's just always going to be important. It might not be at the top of people's minds when they're shopping sometimes, but it will be soon again. If they lost track of it, it'll come back. Everybody hit the thumbs up, please subscribe. What's happening? There's the dog. Everything okay?
I don't know, she said he's disrupting her. I think she's pretty small for that.
Drake's sick. He threw up. The kid's worried he's gonna throw up in her bed. Anyway, it's been a crazy little weekend already start to us. I hope you're having a good one. Please subscribe, hit the like button, all of the like buttons. Go back. If you haven't seen some of the other videos, please go watch those and hit the like buttons. I will see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye.